Let him clone Tyrone.
Y'all, okay, if you love black exploitation films and you love a little bit of Jordan Peele sprinkle into it, you're gonna love this film.
Okay, let's go.
Hey film lovers and happy movie Monday. My name is Carly and I freaking love film. So today we're gonna be talking about They Clone Tyrone. Y'all, I did not hear anything about this film and I did not know this is a Netflix film, but let me tell y'all, this is one of the best films that I have seen this year. I'm not even lying. It's brilliant. This is one of the best films that I've seen in the past 5 years because all the other films are kind of like a blur. There's very few that I can pick out and say, oh, yeah, top five. Drake. But this film had me, I rewatched this film like 3 times already. 3 times? It's ridiculous. So let me tell you something. John Boyega, Jamie Foxx, Teyonah, Parris, these 3 people, they deserve awards. I don't know which awards. I'm not saying Oscar, but they do deserve awards, y'all. This film is refreshing, and it's something that I've been seeing this year in the films that I've been watching. They're pretty refreshing. Like, I feel like I'm not watching any films that are boring. I don't know, but this film was a combination of Undercover Brother for me and Get Out. Shaquille O'Neal. I freaking love Undercover Brother and I love Get Out. So to see these black exploitation and thriller, psychological type of films kind of come together and mold and form a film like this, my God. Mr. Jewel Taylor, this director, this young, amazing black director, did what needed to be done. They Clone Tyrone not only gives a visual representation of all of the tales that we have told throughout black society, black culture in America, but it also gives a visual storytelling too. But it also gives this visual storytelling of how we need to stick together. Honestly, we need to roll deep in our communities and look out for one another. That was the main thing that I got from it. At the end of the day, there are things that are out of our control, we're out of our control, but things that we can also take back. And I think that we need to focus on these things that we can take back and just pushing ourselves into always being better people and being there for each other and for our communities. So let me give y'all a little synopsis. So this film is about a series of eerie events that thrust an unlikely trio into the trail of a nefarious government conspiracy. Now, we've all heard about the conspiracies. We've heard about Tupac being alive, what they did to Michael Jackson, all these types of things. And all these things actually get brought up, from putting crack in the fried chicken. What's in the fried chicken? The music that we listen to and what it does to our brains. There was a lot. I mean, the church. Ooh, child. Okay, so there was a lot of symbolism. There's a lot of layers to this. Just as I said, there was a lot of layers to Barbie, but this resonated with me more because I am African American, and a lot of African Americans will probably see this and be able to resonate with at least one part of this, whether it's the people. These were the 3 trios with John Boyega, who plays Fontaine, and more characters, but that's later to come and probably in spoilers. Jamie Foxx, who plays Slick, the pimp, and Teyonah Parris, who plays Yo-Yo. So these 3 main characters are kind of thrust, like they said, into a situation to where they find out that the government is cloning people, and not just any people, black people. And why are they cloning black people? And is it just this neighborhood, or is it other neighborhoods? And is it other neighborhoods around the US or even the world? So I'm gonna go into the pros of this. The acting was superb. Not only was this a fun ride and somewhat of an educational ride and kind of cautionary tale, but it was also hilarious. Even from the symbolism, the music that they played for the different parts, the music and sound design. But I love how they also played with using film, because I was like, as soon as the first scene happened, I was like, this is really grainy. They must have used film. Another pro was I could not tell what year this was made in. Y'all, whenever they talked about things that were going on in the 80s and 90s and showcasing these older cars, I was automatically assuming this was in the 80s, the 70s, 80s, or 90s. But then Yo-Yo, the smartest person out of the whole trio, she's talking about Bitcoin, blockchain, crypto, all of these things. And I was like, this cannot be in the 80s or 90s. Like, what year is this? So this had to be in like 2020s type stuff. But it seemed like this neighborhood was kind of stuck in this cycle of it being older. And if not just the neighborhood, it may just be those characters, Fontaine and Slick, who were kind of stuck in that era. And that was due to cloning process. I'm not gonna get into the spoilers. If you want to know more spoilers, make sure to comment in the section below to learn more about They Cloned Tyrone and the details of it and my thoughts on it. I might do a spoiler on this, but as far as the cons, there's only one con that I will say. I would like to know a little bit more about who is the head honcho in charge, because we find out who is a geneticist in charge of this cloning program, but we don't find out who is actually in charge. Is it the president? Is it the FBI? Who is actually in charge of this program? Who is giving the orders to this geneticist and to these people? And also, when did it start? I wanted to know the lore of it all. And the biggest thing that I wish they could have done more with this. Hopefully they have a sequel. If they don't, it's gonna be like Gone Girl and I'm gonna miss it for freaking ages and years, and wish that they have a sequel to it. But we don't get to see who Tyrone is until later. And I think that was so smart, because the entire run of the film, I wasn't even asking, wait, who's Tyrone? And it made me think at the very end. I was like, I cannot believe I didn't even ask who was Tyrone. And during the middle of the film, I was kind of waiting to see if there was gonna be a Tyrone come in, but there wasn't until the very end of the film. And whenever I tell you it was so smart to do it like that. I really hope that they have a second film. The characters, the other secondary characters, Kiefer Sutherland, who he played, which was one of the white men, the man, he did a great job. I thought Frog, the guy who was at the corner looking for, and kind of helping them out, because as I seen, Frog was like, frogs are wise and they were representing people who are to guide people onto other places. So Frog was kind of guiding them that whole time and kind of telling him that he knew what was going on without really saying those words. The scene at the church was a top 10 church scenes that I've ever seen. It was just funny, it was witty, it played onto what actually goes on in the church, but also played to the stereotypes that we have as Black people. And it was kind of funny because they really did turn it upside down, because the trio, Yo-Yo, Fontaine, and Slick, ends up kind of using all of these stereotypes to get ahead and kind of understand, hey, wait, what's going on? Like, something isn't right over here. From the chicken to the perms to all these things, they end up using it against the people who were using it nefariously. So all in all, I think that They Clone Tyrone is a rewatch. This is not a one and done type film. I do understand that if you are not from the African American diaspora, the perspective on the film may be completely different. Coming from two Black parents, I think that this film is something that is a must watch, and I completely understand what Jewel was trying to say with this film. And I think this film is just a fun ride, all in all. It's funny, it's witty, a little bit of educational. It's a little bit of educational, but like cultural educational. So if you don't know certain things, you can try to like pick up onto it. This was a film that honestly should have been in theaters, because I would have went into it kind of like how I went into Get Out whenever it first came out, not knowing anything about it, and absolutely loving it and having and seeing and being in that audience and having that audience reaction with you. I think it's a great film. Jewel, amazing work, amazing job. I can't wait to see more from this director, because he did something that not many people can do, and that was put Black people in such an amazing light and have them be the heroes of their own story. So yeah, if you like this review, make sure to comment below your thoughts on the film. If you haven't watched the film yet, but you will be watching it, come back and let me know your thoughts down below. And if you have any other film recommendations, make sure to comment as well. Bye, film lovers, like and subscribe, and I hope that you have a great day.